Going to continue with Daniel chapter 11. He shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasure of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of America. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly make away, to make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain, yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help. Now, look, there's two beasts here. One of them, the dragon's given the beast the power. He gets a wounded head. So, because this is the way the mouthpieces for the elite are playing, Kleck is the one that's going to get the wounded head. The dragon is SJD playing as the one that's going to give him the power, but he's also going to play him, because when October 24th comes around, after the 21st, when Kleck is, when he sees that his job has been done and we all died, right? Well, he's going to party it up. His true party is for 3.5 days. And so when the 24th comes around, the rug gets pulled out from underneath of his feet. Because if you notice in Daniel, it talks about two people. One of them gets to rule for a few days, and then the other one just gets taken out after a few days. And one stands up in his estate, a raiser of taxes, one that comes in getting the kingdom by flatteries. Well, these two kings will speak lies at one table. And so Kleck has already shown that he's a 33rd degree Mason. I thought maybe a 32nd, but that's like all the other ones that work underneath of them. They're 32nd degrees. So I'm seeing Kleck and old Mr. Jesus here. I'm seeing these two as the two top fake messiahs, fake Lucifers on YouTube. He's the underground, right? And it only makes perfect sense that Kleck is playing the above ground on YouTube, because they're both speaking the same exact thing. He keeps talking about Trump. Steve keeps talking about Trump. Like, oh, I'm going to pray for him. Hopefully you can see what he's doing. Yeah, right. So they're both going to be destroyed. It's like this. Kleck, you're definitely getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. No question, by Steven James Dishon. Now, the only other thing is, Steve, if you plan on ruling the way that you think you were going to rule 8 years ago, and your heart truly didn't change, and you still are Saul and not Paul, well, what I'm telling you is, after 3.5 days, that rug's getting pulled out from underneath of you also. Now, I'm not literally, physically going to be there to pull it out from underneath your feet, but if you don't get in line when Michael stands up, all right, well, whatever. You're going to see how that rug's going to get pulled out from underneath you, because there's many more people that have been watching over this past 2 years, paying attention to what me and Justin are saying, knowing that, see, I can't truly see what's happening, the effect that I have on people. I just know that I do. So I can only imagine the people that are seeing the effect, that are surveilling side by side, talking to each other day in and day out about what they're going to do. So I'm just praying that you have already had your eyes opened up, because what you've been seeing, because again, you're still a good actor, but there are certain things I'm not sure of. So just in case if you were thinking about ruling after you pull the rug from under him, well, according to the Bible, there's two people. There's like 3 kings. There's 2 people. One of them starts, yank. The other one believes that he's going to get yank, because the dragon gives the power to the beast. So the beast gets pulled first, gets a wounded head at the same time. And then the dragon gets pulled out from underneath him as well. So at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which stands for the people, the children of their people, and there shall be a time of trouble. There shall be a time of trouble. So the second 9/11, the second woe, and the second 9/11 on the second day of October is when Michael shall stand up, the great prince which stands for the people, for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered. Every one shall be found that's found written in the book of life. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Because the ones that are sleepwalking right now, the zombies, spiritually dead, they're going to die in the second death, the second resurrection, that will have power over them. Some of them are going to, the ones that are not part of it, the ones that don't take any stock in evil activities, they're going to awake to everlasting life. The other ones that are, trolling, the ones that are still unbelieving agents, you guys are going to stand in shame. So that's where you're going to, some of those, which are you, to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they shall turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words. All right, just shut them up. Just because here's Steve, right? Well, I'm just gonna shut my channel down because nobody's listening anyway. So I'm just gonna shut the words up and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the river, the waters of the river, how long shall it be unto the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand into heaven, and swore by him that lives forever, that it shall be for a day, another day, and a half of a day. So it's a time, which is 1, times, which is 2, and a half, so that's 1 plus 2 plus a half, which is 3.5. It's 3.5 of something. I'm just telling you it's 3.5 days. And possibly 3.5 weeks, because 21 days plus 3 days, 24 days, well, that's 3.5, that's a time times and a half of weeks. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So when that economy collapses for good, all these things are done. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things already? And he said, Daniel, just go your way, man, For the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end, because people are not paying attention. So in their mind, the words are closed up. So whatever you say, the words are closed up in their head and sealed until the time of the end, until they start seeing these events take place. Many shall be purified because of it and made white and tried, but the wicked, they don't freaking know. They're going to keep trying to, till the land, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that makes it desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So when that abomination of desolation happens, and he's standing in the holy place in Philadelphia, where they're playing out the holy place, even though it's really your own temple. When Satan is standing in your temple, you got to flee to the mountains, get them out of there, flip the tables over, the money exchangers that are the demons that are betting on controlling your life day in and day out. Flip those tables, get them the hell out of there. But because the elite are playing this out, just understand, from the day that you see this event, the second 9/11, the second woe, Blessed is he who waits and comes to the 1,335 days. But go your way, Daniel, for you shall rest and stand in your lot at the end of the days. The lot that you cast, you're gonna be standing in it. So from whenever that second 9/11 is, I'm just throwing a date out there, of course, because it kind of lines up. It's all the 3 2s, the second day of the 10th month in our modern day calendar, and then the second woe being the second 9/11. That would be the time that the 1290 days had taken to get it set up. And that began on, I believe, March 19, 2016. So 45 days is the difference between 1290 and 1,235. So blessed is he who waits. But you have to see this first in order to be blessed, in order to wait to receive the reward that you get.